Thank you for telling me that. Yeah, I forgot my mic was muted. My bad. So, I wanted to tell you guys, you know, Happy Christmas. You know? And, you know, to just enjoy the holiday. I had to do my Christmas yesterday at 5 in the morning. On Christmas Eve. Because, yeah. My mom was going to do her Christmas at her boyfriend's house with his family, but he lives like an hour or two away, and since the roads are really bad, and so what he does for a living is he paves the roads, or he clears the roads so that cars can drive through the snow. That's what he does, so he has to get up super early so people can, you know, basically get to work on time or through the snow. That's basically what he does. So he had to get up super early, so we all got up super fucking early. And long story short, I went back to my bedroom, tried to take another nap, and then about 5 in the morning, I wake up and we just do Christmas. I only got a couple of things. I didn't really want anything for Christmas. But some of the things I actually got, which I was really surprised with, were I got 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 die-cast aircrafts. I got the F-14 Tomcat, I got the F-35 Lightning II, and I got the Apache helicopter longbow, the AH-64 Delta model. I'm gonna do a stream after this, kind of showing you guys some of the things I got. I also got a K-bar, which is the Marine Corps' fighting knife of choice. Yeah, I like my K-bar. It's really cool. I love all K-bars. I don't like those cheap Chinese knockoffs. But, you know, here when the holidays are... You want to guess the game I'm playing on Xbox 360 right now? Probably Halo or Modern Warfare 2. Hopefully.
We could use a few more suits around here.
Although maybe you might actually be playing a Fallout game, or even potentially, if you got it, you might even be playing, what do you call it, the original BioShock on Xbox 360. You know, it's just a genuine shame that it does not let me stream BioShock. It lets me record my gameplay, and I guess I could start recording videos and editing them and then posting them on my channel, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, guys, Black Ops 3. How bad are the graphics? Because I remember seeing some of the cutscenes online for the PS3 version. I remember those cutscenes were hog shit. Yeah, that was a good console. The Xbox 360 and the PS3. I mean, they're not that bad, but they're worse than PC. Medium. The 360 and PS3 are probably my favorite generation of consoles. Though my favorite generation of games from those eras, PS2 all the way. I mean, the PS2 era, the original Xbox and the Wii. No, it was the GameCube. Yeah. So the GameCube, PS2, and the original Xbox was my favorite era of video games. Soldier of Fortune, Twisted Metal, they had an Unreal Tournament port to those consoles. You know, obscure PlayStation. I think it's PlayStation exclusive. It might be. Silent Hill 2, 3, and 4. The original Silent Hill was PS1 era, but so were the original 3 Resident Evil games. definitely the Resident Evil 4 is known as one of the best games of all time, and rightfully so. It is clearly one of the best, so has to be included on part of the reason why it sways in that direction. But also, we have to keep in mind GTA, Vice City, GTA 3, and San Andreas are also in that title, as well as the first 3 Devil May Cries are in that era, as well as Manhunt 1 and 2, Soldier of Fortune. A lot of the early Need for Speed games, like Need for Speed Most Wanted, Underground, and Underground 2. So, in a lot of ways, there's a lot of games coming out for a lot more, you know. Anyways, so how's your week been? Well, as you know, this is the weekend, and it's the last day of the week, Sunday. There will be no football played today, so hopefully, you know, football picks up next weekend. I really love going to the arcade round 1. It's attached to a mall, so if I get really bored with the arcade, I can just go to the mall. However, if you show up really late, like at 11, everything else is already closed. And the arcade stays up until 2 in the morning. So you could easily just chill out there for a long period of time. And I still can't believe I won Jolene from JoJo's Bizarre Adventures at the claw machine. Like, I never win anything from a claw machine, so I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just gonna start, every time I go there, I'm gonna try to at least walk away with something from the arcade and make a video of what it is I won or earned or whatever you want to call. Because it's kind of hard because you can't really film in an arcade, I don't think. You know, because there's a lot of other people there. Also, it's like I'd have to have someone holding the camera or vice versa to watch me play arcade machines, especially skill-based arcade machines like Dance Dance Revolution, DDR, pretty much. Where like it's not really, it's a rhythm game, so I mean it's not necessarily about like players input speed. It's just about timing, and it's about player skill and how quickly but accurately you can, you know, time your, you know, whenever you go to your inputs. So it is a little bit tough in those regards, but you know, I think that personally it could be kind of fun if you're not trying to go for a retardedly high score. If you're going for a super high score in anything, it could actually ruin the fun of it if you're just doing it to do one particular thing rather than just playing it to have fun. And the thing is, the more you play it, the more better you'll get at it. Now, however, I think, because I'm dog shit at Dance Dance Revolution, I really am. Like, you know, I can land, you know, a pretty decent combo. But man, sometimes, man, when you're on your third round of it, and you know what I mean, your third round is your last round, and so usually by then, you know, you're jumping around doing all that, because what you do is you just, you know, you step your foot into the input that pops up on screen, and you know how it is, bro. Sometimes they'll have like 3 different inputs really quickly. You just gotta go 1, 2, 3, 4, and just, you know, with your feet, and it's just super. You know, by the time you're on round 3, you're exhausted. Especially if you're wearing restrictive clothing like jeans and vice versa. But it's super cold outside, so you kind of have to wear warm clothes. The best like thing to wear is shorts because it's less restrictive, which allow you to pretty much do that. But when you're wearing jeans like I do that are a little bit tight, you know, in a belt, your movement is naturally a little bit more restricted. So that's partially my excuse on why I'm not so amazing at Dance Dance. But you know, if I could still do pretty solid perfect combos for a little while. I think if I were to wear more or less restrictive clothing, as well as also just spent more time with it, I could probably get better at it. The other thing was this drum game where all you do, there are 2 pedals, there are your cymbals, and then your 4 drums. There are 3 cymbals, 4 of like the basic drums, and 2 pedals, and pretty much, yeah, that's a lot more inputs than just up, side, side, down. So, in my opinion, the drum game was a little bit harder, and I really want to get good at that because that actually was kind of fun when I played it. So it wears on the wrists a little bit, I've noticed too, because I noticed like after I was done playing that for an extended period of time, like my wrists just felt like worn out, and I'm like, oh, my wrists. And then like the next couple days, like my wrists felt better. It's like I'm actually increasing the strength of just like my hands. So I don't know, man. It's really weird. And Dance Dance is actually really good cardio. Anyways, got to go because I don't have data. I'll check in once I get home. Alright, man. Yeah, I'm probably going to end the stream soon, so I just wanted to say, hey, Merry Christmas, you know? And, yeah, I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. You know, I think I could play Fallout on here, Fallout 3 in New Vegas on here. And the question is, why don't I? Also, my Fallout 3 character on PS3 is pretty powerful starting off. High Luck is so much fun, man, just pulling a bunch of critical hits out of your ass. And my New Vegas character is pretty powerful as well. Alright guys, you know, I'm just gonna end it right here. You know, me and Slayer watched Die Hard last night. We started the movie at like 11:27, I think, or some shit like that, and then it ended at like 1 in the morning. So, you know, it was funny because in the movie, it ends on Christmas Day. And when the movie was over for us, it was pretty much Christmas Day because it was like 1 in the morning. So, you know, I thought it was kind of cool. But yeah, that's Christmas tradition for me. I always watch Die Hard the night before Christmas. And, you know, throughout Christmas. But I like to personally watch Christmas Story during Christmas morning, at least. For a good chunk of the morning, I like watching Christmas Story. It's an amazing movie. It's an American classic. And then I'll watch other stuff like Elf and The Four Christmases is a more mature Christmas comedy. The other one that I like was... There's a lot of them out there, but the... You know, Charlie Brown's Christmas. This is just a classic. Yeah, man. They had this... It was in the morning. And... You know, it was after I'd opened up my gifts yesterday. Oh, yeah, because I had my Christmas a day early. Sorry, I forgot to explain. So, my mom's boyfriend, what he does is he clears out the roads. And since he's, you know, a bit older, he has to get up a little bit earlier. So he got up at like 3 in the morning in order to make it on time over there to go do that. And so basically, long story short, everyone's up at 3 in the morning. And at 5 in the morning, on Christmas Eve, mind you, is when I opened up my gifts. I got some cologne and some other stuff, but, you know, one of the few things I did get was some die-cast aircrafts to add to my collection, which I really liked that. You know, yeah. But regardless, I've also, on my own journey, on my own decision, I've also decided to watch Naruto. From actual start to finish. I started on episode 1 and made it to episode 23. And there's like 700 episodes to go. So, you know, a lot of these episodes were about like this guy, and he has to build this bridge, and there are these two accomplices, and you know, whatever. Yeah. Zabuza and the other one's name started with an H. He's a boy, but he looks and dresses like a woman, which is weird. I think there's a term for that in anime, a trap. I think it's what the weeb culture calls it, but you know, regardless, yeah, I'm actually starting to reappreciate anime. For a long time, a lot of people know that I said I hated anime, I don't like anime, I think it's lame. Why I say that is because, just like, on a real note, bro, it's not the anime that's the problem, in my opinion. It is the weeb culture that is the problem. Like, these people are simping over non-existent people. Like, I mean, there are some people that are like, oh yeah, this anime character's cute and all that, and I'm like, alright, I can agree, but like, some people, I'm not going to say who, actually like have something called a waifu shrine. And like, you gotta draw your limits, alright? You know what I mean? You gotta say what's rational and what's not. So for me, some of the culture is kind of weird. But yeah, no, watching anime and reading manga, who cares? It's no big deal at all. It's cool, it's fine. To the point where you're like actually like weird about it is when it, you know, when you get weird about it, it becomes an issue. Like, you know, watching certain videos on a certain website, you know. Yeah. Yeah, then it comes to the point of where it's like, alright, yeah, no, this is too far. And there's a lot of anime I don't like. However, I like Naruto. I don't like Dragon Ball. Oddly enough. I think the whole Super Saiyan culture, the whole, you know, like, the story never interests me. Naruto was cool because it was like ninjas and warriors and how to be always strive to be your very best. And some of the messages from Naruto are very inspiring, I guess, as a kid watching Naruto. But on the Adult Swim channel, after a while, there would be something called Toonami, or it'd just be anime either before or after Adult Swim. And I just really can't remember. It's been forever since I've watched those. But yeah, I guess Toonami got me into some of my I think it was called like Toon, and then Nami like Kunami. And I guess that's what got me into some of my animes. Because I had an appreciation for the... I say appreciation as a term loosely used to describe, like, I don't watch it, I don't necessarily super like it, but if it was on, my other friends are watching it, I could see myself watching it. Kind of way of saying that, like a neutral neutral feeling toward that. So I liked the anime of Yu-Gi-Oh! When I was a kid, but now it's like I had that mutual feeling toward it, where it's like I don't necessarily really like it that much. I'm not gonna go crazy about it, but you know, I can remember as a kid liking it, and so I have an appreciation for it where it's like, you know, whatever. But I much prefer the card game, where, funny enough, as it is with Pokemon, I prefer the anime and the video games over the actual card game. I don't know, it's really weird. It's like flipped. It's like I don't like the anime or the games of Yu-Gi-Oh, but I really like the card game. But I appreciate the anime though. I do, but you know, whatever. I didn't get into Hunter x Hunter or My Hero Academia. I really lacked the interest or care for that matter. I'm probably going to give Tokyo Ghoul a chance. I liked Kill la Kill. I know a lot of people don't like Kill la Kill. I liked Dead Man Wonderland, which a lot of people don't like that. Now I'm going to get into JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. Oh, and Sailor's Moon was pretty good. So, anyway, this has gone on long enough. What is this? Alright, whatever. But yeah, regardless, guys, I'm hoping you guys are having a Merry Christmas. Do be sure to hop on your appropriate games to get your Christmas rewards. I know some games do that, some don't. Whatever. But again, you know, yeah. But apart from all that, man, just, you know, have a great rest of your guys' day. Fucking, yeah, man. So, see you guys later. Oh, and like I said, after this, I am going to be streaming, it's going to be a different stream. It's going to be, like, using my laptop computer in my living room, and I'm going to go over some of my favorite Christmases, and some of the things that I remember getting as a kid, and stuff like that, just going over childhood shit, while I also look at some of the things I got this year for Christmas and showing them off to you guys. I didn't get much, so I'm just going to focus on my diecast collection, actually, because that's really deep down, guys, that's going to be my side project for my life, is collecting these diecast airplanes, tanks. Eventually I'll collect the little model ships, but, you know, call me a dork, but there is just something to models, you know, the attention to every conceivable detail, where people have, you know, replicated, you know, real life things, like, for instance, like a 1972 CUDA by Plymouth CUDA, and it's like, wow, that's a really nice muscle car. You know, I'll never be able to own. Listen, here's the important part. I'll never be able to own the real thing. It would be kind of neat to own the little model. And so I did. I built the model. I enjoyed it. Car models are easier than airplane models. I'm just going to say that out loud. I like the pre-built airplane models, whereas the die-cast cars, unless it's made by a very high-end company that, you know, pays a lot of homage and detail to the actual car itself. Like, for instance, my Shelby my Shelby Ford GT from 1963 or 4. That car was very excellent. The paint, you know, the level of detail on the paint, the paint color and choices were very accurate to the real thing, and they go all out on their, you know, Ford GT, and that's all that does. I don't think they do a Shelby Cobra or a GT 500. They only make just the Ford GT from those eras, and I'm just wanting them to make my favorite Ford GT, the 2003 Ford GT, or a 2006 would be nice. But I also have a die-cast Dodge SRT Viper, And so stuff like that, you know, is cool and fine. But Hot Wheels are where it's at with collectible die-cast cars. You know, the smaller scale, in my opinion, the smaller they are, the more collectible they are. The more of them you can fit into a decent space. You know, but with planes, I don't know where I'm gonna go. I'm sticking with these Darn postage stamp planes, and you know, I only have 5 of them now, but they're expensive. They're like $30 a piece. So all in all, I'm gonna go ahead and say my collection's probably a total of like $140 worth of die-cast planes, which are like $140 for like 5. It's like, wow, that really is expensive. And considering that I'm gonna be buying more, yeah, like it'll build up in value. Now, will they be worth that much when they're resold? Probably not, because I've opened them out of the box. And obviously you're gonna have depreciation. Like they'll probably not hold much value since they're still kind of new. So in the next couple years they'll depreciate, but it won't be until like you know, with Hot Wheels, it won't be until years later that, you know, the collectability, or you know, the desire, or the not desire, but the desirability. That's the word I'm looking for. Highly, you know, you'll hear the term highly desirable, because it's like the thing that the person wants the most, or has features that were very exclusive to a certain model of that, a very limited and exclusive model of that certain whatever it is, whether it's a firearm, a car, or a collectible toy, or whatever. So, you know, you have that. Now, I'm also going to say this, I don't see anything wrong with collecting models. You know, like, I don't see anything wrong with building Legos, even as a 20-year-old, but I don't like... There's not a lot of Legos I care for. I don't really get into it that much. I found one series of Lego that I think I can enjoy building, because I'm not going to be building them fucking Lego Star Wars playsets. I don't do that shit. I found these Lego cars. It's called Speed Champions. And they're just Lego cars. They're Lego sports cars. They're done very accurately. They use advanced building techniques. And I feel like, you know, because the first one I bought was a Ford GT and a Ford Bronco. It was a set of 2. I bought it. I built it. I really enjoyed building them, and then I got the Ferrari 512 and the Lamborghini Countach, and that's just sort of... I haven't bought anymore. I'm not looking to buy anymore. There's a couple of them out there that I would like to maybe build, but I mean, overall, I'm just going to be brutally honest with you guys. They, somewhere out there, have a Lego Ferrari F40 and a Ferrari a Lego Mustang. And those are like hundreds of dollars. It's like, you know what, man? You know what, dude? You know what, bruh? Nah. That's it. This is the last Legos I'm building. The rest of anything I get's gonna be an actual model that I actually build, paint myself, you know? And the reason why I'm pushing myself toward that, like I said, there's nothing wrong with Lego, but just like, I just don't see myself getting that much into Lego. The level of detail is limited due to the building material being these Lego pieces. Whilst the pieces have actually advanced and are more detailed now, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you this in the most honest and bland way possible. You are so limited on detail. You can use building techniques that give off the illusion of more detail. That's cool, that's fine, I can understand that, but you also got to understand, like with an actual model, some of the pieces and parts used in that model are actually specifically designed to replicate pieces and parts of the real thing. And because their molds are not plastic bricks, but they're plastic intricate parts that are more realistic in the dimensions and the way that they're cut and molded, yeah, you'll just get more detail out of a regular model. Anyway, one of the cool things, okay, University Point Pharmacy. Okay, cool. I haven't been to this location yet. But yeah, I've been trying to end this stream for a while. I guess we'll just keep it going, because I like talking. I could talk forever.
Nice.
A couple Christmases ago, I actually got this game. I got this game for Christmas. Honestly, I am not gonna cap with you guys. I got this game for Christmas one year, and I spent most of that Christmas morning was spent to downloading the game. And when it finished, bada bing, bada bang. And I was so excited when Fallout 4 was announced. Like, dude, bro, like, dude, I remember that shit, bro. The graphics looked really fucking cool. And I was just ready to play the game. Like, I was just so ready just to get started on my own adventure. Fallout, and when it finally happened, when I finally got the game, and started playing it, man, dude, I got sucked into it immediately. However, I was not the world's best, and well,
That's it.
now we're here, and I'd say I'm actually pretty good. Has the loot respawned in this area or something? Oh my god, it has. Everything except for the experimental weapon. Alright guys, we're just gonna end the game right here. But yeah. Yeah, I think guys, honestly bro, find a model that has a very, very easy, like, put together kind of, like, it's not hard to put together. Like, it'll have a skill level on it. Every company has their own version of it, of what's deemed to be a low skill level, moderate skill level. Start with low and work your way up. Trust me, it's the best way to do it. Because if you've never actually put together a model, you'll need an X-Acto knife or some sort of knife that is very, very sharp that can precisely cut things. I also recommend getting, I have this cool tool that is a magnifying glass, and it has two little holder pieces, and it's weighted, and you know, it's adjustable in various positions. I recommend to use that as a tool to help you just sort of like use the little arms to hold onto parts if you have to glue at a certain angle. Hobby glue. Hobby stores will sell you everything, and on some of these models, you will have to paint them yourselves. So you gotta ask, do you want to spray paint them or paint them with gently dabbing certain paint mixtures? Well, those paint mixtures, painting it with a brush is really good, and airbrush is even better. Spray paint is the quick and easy way to do it. So that's the method that I prefer to use. So what I have done, I spray paint the inside, or I gently paint the inside black. Okay? Just to sort of get the whiteness off of there or whatever. Paint the outside whatever color of choice. If it's a Ferrari F40, paint the outside red. So the interior is going to be black anyway. So the inside body panels being black or whatever, that's fine. Paint on all your parts that you already know what they are. Paint those ahead of time. Gently, lightly, simple. Especially parts that aren't going to ever be seen. Don't even, well, just paint them a different color. So in case they are seen on accident or whatever, or if they're gently exposed, that they're not going to give away any detail. Do all that, set it up, whatever. But there's a lot more tips on the internet to how to get started on models and building them and painting them and all that. There's a lot more better advice and more detail on the internet. So if you guys want to get into building them, definitely research that. If you just are like me and like if it's die cast, it's made out of metal and not plastic, so I don't have to worry about it breaking too often. But I also don't really feel like putting forth the effort of building them. They have plenty of larger scale model die-cast planes and cars and shit like that. They have a lot of them out there. So there's that. The other thing, when you go to collect something, figure out what scale you want to collect in. Just note that the higher the scale, the smaller the thing is. The larger the scale, the bigger it is. So let's say it's a 1 in 35 scale, it's going to be massive. But if it's like a 1 in 1/15, you know, it's going to be way scaled down. Learn what scale you want to use or what scale you prefer. The larger scale, mid scale, or small scale. They even have some scales of airplanes that are tiny, tiny, tiny. I don't like that. The details are just very thrown together. The details are a little off. The details are all in like the paint and like the little cuts, and they're so tiny you can't even really tell. Those are very crappy in my opinion. I like a medium scale or a smaller scale that's not super tiny. I like a scale where you can notice the details, look at it. I'll show you what I mean in the next video after this, because I am going to make a video after this at some point where I'm going to go over my airplane collection and talk about Christmas. Stay tuned for that if you guys are a fan. You know, if not, you just prefer to see my gaming content, I have plenty of that everywhere. But for real this time, for the 1 billionth time, sayonara.